All right, music fans, welcome. Harmless Dave here talking about the end of rock and roll as we know it and doing it in real time for a few real people out there, just like you and just like me. So, Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley apparently have become fanboys for Taylor Swift. Oh, man. You're never going to have rock and roll get back to where it was. Even just adult contemporary rock stuff that I used to hear on the radio as a kid. This has all become just, you know, a landscape for all these pop divas. And you know what? I don't like Madonna. I never liked any of that stuff. I'm not a Cyndi Lauper fan. I had someone on Patreon say, "Hey, do you like Cyndi Lauper?" I'm like, girls just want to have fun. Yeah, for a week I liked Cyndi Lauper. I don't know. But as far as like something that I go and listen to on a regular basis, no, no. I mean, I'm so tired of it all. In fact, I heard Sweet Dreams by the Eurythmics the other day, and like they just keep playing this song after 40 something years. They just keep playing it. It's old. It's tired. It was okay when it came out. Um, but it's done. It's beat into the ground because for about a generation now, we haven't had anything come along to really replace that. So anyway, let me talk about I'm kind of ornery. I'm in an ornery mood about music today, so I apologize. This showed up in my mail though, and this made me happy. This is the band FM. Old Habits Die Hard. This is rock. Okay, this is rock. It doesn't make your ears bleed. You can listen to it. It's not thrashing. It's not dark. It's melodic. It's what we grew up listening to. Foreigner, REO, Speedwagon Sticks, Van Halen. That's the kind of music that this represents. Okay, it's not heavy, but it's super well done. All right, I know. I've noticed too. There's this tendency for even older people to want this sort of noisy, heavy music in their life. I'm done. I'm done with that. Been done with that for quite some time. I'd rather hang out with some West Coast music fans because it takes talent to create melodies and to play your instruments. And so yeah. So I told you I was feeling kind of ornery. Plus yesterday's videos did crappy. So again, if you can watch the videos and support the channel, if you're doing all of those things, all I can tell you is that I still need more folks to continue to do those things. Closing in on 80,000 subscribers, which is pretty amazing, considering that I know I'm being shadow banned to some degree. If you can support this channel, it's helpful. All right. And there are three ways to do that. And I will discuss that at the end of this exciting video. So, Gene Simmons, rock isn't exciting anymore, except for Taylor Swift. Um, First of all, is Taylor Swift rock? I didn't get that memo that Taylor Swift was rock. Um, the more I listen to Gene Simmons, it's like, yep, this is where the money is. So good. That's it. Not like, gee, wouldn't it be cool if another band was replacing Kiss in today's world, like the next generation of Kiss? No, not the avatars that I hear about every day. The avatars are going to be amazing. People are going to be stunned by the quality of these avatars. And yeah, it's going to go on forever. But that's the way it's going to go on. It's not going to go on the traditional way where guys, grind it out. They pay their dues. They play live music somewhere for a few years, and then they get discovered by a record label, and then they become the next big thing. That's not happening anymore. Um, as much as you discover talent on shows like America's Got Talent or what's the big one? I can't even remember. American Idol, right? You discover talent there. That's cheating. It's cheating because you need to pay your dues. You need to write some songs. You need to go out on the road. You need to know how to play this stuff live. Nobody does it that way anymore. If somebody gets discovered the new way, Then they recruit a band. Then they start writing songs or have someone else write the songs, right? We're in a completely different world when it comes to music. And yeah, I'm a little ticked off. So again, Gene Simmons promoting Taylor Swift. He's talking to an outlet called Page Six, which is typically all the gossip stuff. Can you think of anybody more exciting for rock music? He says rock music again. Maybe you can correct me. Is Taylor Swift rock? Did I miss? Isn't she pop? Isn't this top 40 pop, whatever you want to call it? But he says, no, you cannot think of anybody. When we were growing up in the 60s, you had Led Zeppelin, the Stones, the Beatles, Elvis, and Deep Purple, Pink Floyd, and on and on. Then you had Madonna, which is much later, and you had Motown and all that. Yeah, Motown was pretty cool. Has anything come along to replace Motown? All of that rap music and that stuff that's just almost impossible to really listen to for long periods of time. Has that replaced Motown? No. I mean, country music today is sounding like really bad R&B music for the most part. I mean, there are some good melodies, but if you go listen to country, it would be nice if it sounded like country. But if you want to hear some R&B, go listen to country, and you'll probably hear some R&B. Not 1/100th as interesting as anything that Motown or Stax or any of those great groups of folks from the 60s and into the 70s, quite honestly. It just, nobody, even the 80s had some decent R&B. Simmons went on to list other famous names of the era. Okay, thanks for name dropping and giving us a musical education, Jane. You had Prince, really? I didn't hear of Prince until now. Thanks, Jane. David Bowie. Yeah, okay. All that happening at the same time. Well, technically, David Bowie happened a little bit before Prince. All right. What's happening now? There's no question Taylor Swift has taken over, and she's great. I'm a fan, and I know her. She's a really solid person. Other than that, I'm not sure what's cool other than this. And he shows a picture of Kiss in the video. I guess there must be a video that goes along with this article. Kiss and Swift have crossed paths before. Last August, Kiss frontman Paul Stanley attended one of Swift's Eras Tour shows in Los Angeles with his family. He went to go see Taylor Swift. He even posted a picture of himself wearing tour merchandise on social media. You know, hey, I just want to be cool. I don't know any of my friends who like rock music at this age who would go see Taylor Swift. I don't. Maybe I'll have a couple of patrons tell me that, yeah, I had to go because my kid wanted to go, or somebody I knew had tickets and I just went for the heck of it, blah, 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 but intentionally going. So he says, yeah, I took Aaron, Sarah, and Emily. How old are his kids? He's in his 70s. Of course, he's a rock star, so his kids are probably like 5, right? To see Taylor Swift last night. 6 shows at SoFi Stadium for a total of 500,000 people, and I know why. Phenomenal show by a phenomenal artist. Thanks to her staff for rolling out the red carpet for us. Folks, rock and roll is dead. Rock and roll is dead. Simmons and Stanley are not the only rockers who praised Swift. Billy Joe Armstrong also recently went to a Swift concert in France and posted on Instagram saying, just saw Taylor Swift in France. Great production, great voice, great entertainer, great songwriting. Great songwriting? Crazy crowd. People even shared with me some friendship bracelets. Thanks a million, Taylor Swift. Pearl Jam's Eddie Vedder, geez, this is a big surprise, huh? Also likes Taylor Swift. In an interview with Bill Simmons, he praised Swift, especially her Eras tour. Vedder talked about Swift's talent for using secret codes in her songs. Really, secret codes? I didn't know there were secret codes. Maybe, again, she is that CIA asset that all the Trump people have talked about, right? And he praised how much music she puts out. She puts out a lot. Oop, I didn't say that correctly. No, I'm not saying that about Taylor Swift. I'm just kidding. Look, there are trashier, sleazier, more gutter-ish ladies that are out there putting music out there and performing. I will say that about Taylor Swift. She doesn't come off as that trashy, but Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley basically putting dirt on their own grave. Well, you know what? Again, the avatars will go on forever. And the rest of us who enjoy rock music, I mean, does anybody really care if I'm showcasing new stuff? I mean, it's just old habits die hard by FM, right? Who, what, why? Talk about Taylor Swift some more. She's the best. By the way, I wouldn't be talking about Madonna, right? If this were 1985, I'd be saying, yeah, she's okay for what it is. And then, of course, she unraveled later on completely, went bananas. You know what all these people share, by the way? The same political viewpoint. Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, Taylor Swift, Eddie Vedder. They all share the same political views. Just an observation, because this is what I do. This is real music observer kind of thing. Observing things in real time for a few real people out there. All right, so little housekeeping thing before we stop. Patreon, YouTube memberships, and Buy Me a Coffee. Buy Me a Coffee has been wildly successful. Patreon's kind of leveled off. I mean, there are only so many people who watch this who want to actually support the channel. YouTube memberships, I don't even know how many YouTube members I have. I don't even know how to look that up. But, excuse me, I do have some. So I appreciate you guys out there. You all get to see these videos before anyone else gets to see them. So that could be a blessing or a curse. So yeah, rock and roll, folks. It's not exactly doing all that well, according to people who are in rock and roll. And I get it. You know, if you want to be super open-minded about this and say, well, they're being humble and gracious because Taylor Swift, according to some people, she's bigger than the Beatles. Rick Beato, I think, covered this in a video, and he looked a little disgruntled. I didn't watch the video, but I looked at the thumbnail picture and I said, there are a few of us who are going to continue to call out the nonsense, right? Whether it's music or politics or your health. That's another thing that I continue to talk about, even though everyone says, you're just a conspiracy theorist. I had somebody tell me that my Eric Clapton interview was too conversational and that I let him talk too much. What a critique, huh? I should have interrupted and said, no, Eric, you can't talk about these things. It's not permitted because it's politically incorrect, right? So, yeah, just a few thoughts rolling around in my brain today. Thanks for watching. God bless everyone. And again, pray for peace in the Middle East and around the world so we can stop the endless war, just endless war. That's another thing that all of these people have in common. They're okay with sending money to foreign countries so we can go deeper and deeper into debt. Yeah.